So I'm gonna try a new bread recipe, and I thought I would bring you guys along. So the first thing I'm gonna do is pour 1.5 cups of milk and water mixed. It's mostly water. Into a bowl. I like to put the liquids first. Some people put the dry ingredients. I'm gonna add 3 tablespoons of sugar. And I'm going to add 3 teaspoons of instant yeast. And I preheated my oven for like 2 minutes, and then I turned it off and left the light on. So it should be nice and warm because it's pretty chilly in my house today. I'm just going to give that a little stir. I like to stir that. And I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of olive oil. And I'm also going to add 2 tablespoons of butter. And you can use salted, unsalted. It's not that much butter, so it doesn't really matter. And now I'm going to start adding my flour. And I have bread flour and wheat flour. I'm going to use 2 cups of, actually I'm going to use, 2.5 cups of bread flour. I'm only going to use a little bit of wheat flour. They say if you use wheat flour you need more liquid, so I'm only going to put about 1 cup because this is my first time making a loaf with wheat flour. They said if you add more liquid, because the wheat absorbs more water, if you don't, the bread will come out dry. So now I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of dry milk powder, and I use this one or the Great Value brand. This is the one I have right now. And for this recipe, I'm going to also add 3 teaspoons of Vital Wheat gluten. And now I'm going to add, I think I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of salt. And I'm not going to add any egg to this. I'm just going to leave it like this. And then see if I added enough flour. I'll start mixing it and then I'll bring you back. As you can see in my mixture bowl, it looks like it's coming together just right. So once it comes to this point, that's when I like to set my timer for 5 minutes. And I'm gonna knead it on speed 2 for 5 minutes. And I'll bring you back if I need to add any flour or liquid, but I think it's gonna be okay, but I'll let you know. I wanted to bring you back, I'm in the middle of kneading, but I wanted you to see if you touch it and it's tacky but not sticky, it should be just right. So I'm going to continue kneading and I'll show you. I'm going to stop the kneading. Take it off the mixer. If I can get my dough going. And I put some olive oil in this bowl, so I'm just going to put a little bit on my fingers. Can you see that? Okay. And we're going to just take it out. And just play with it a second. See, it cleaned the sides of the bowl perfectly. It's really soft. Hope it doesn't feel like it'll be dry. But we're just gonna put it into a ball. Seal the ends. And just pop it in there. And I always like to spray the top with olive oil or used olive oil or. And I'm going to cover it with my plastic wrap. And then I'm going to set it in my oven. I'm going to put the timer on for 1 hour. Usually works. And it depends on how warm the oven is. But my light's been on for a while. Like I said, and I turned it on for like 2 minutes. I think the temperature we're at 100 degrees, so I didn't let it get too warm. But I'll show you what it looks like anymore now. Okay, it's been 55 minutes exactly, and my dough has risen. So I'm just gonna punch it down, kind of fold it over itself. It's very soft. And I just do a simple method when I probably don't make the best shape, but it turns out okay. I just kind of flatten it. I don't even use my rolling pin, just my hands. Just kind of flatten it to even thickness. This dough is not too sticky. It's really a nice dough. So you want to try to roll it about the size of your loaf pan. I'm going a little bit too wide here. We're going to roll it. And some people say you're supposed to roll it and then press it into itself. So I'll just roll it. And then I pinch the seams together the best I can. And then I'll tuck my ends in. I actually push them in. And I always end up with one side bigger than the other. I just kind of squish it to make it match. And then I'm gonna take my pan and set it in here. And it's probably gonna be a pretty tall loaf. I like to use a longer pan, but I was gonna use this pan today. And it's kind of uneven, but I'm just gonna keep pressing it until I get it straight. And I'll just tuck the ends under like this. Push it flat. And that looks pretty good. So now, I'm gonna start preheating my oven to, I think I'm gonna do 350 with this one, because it may be a tiny bit more dense with the wheat flour. I'm gonna spray the top with olive oil. Preheat my oven to 350, and I'm gonna cover this with plastic wrap. And you kind of just go by the look of it. I'm gonna start my timer at 30 minutes. It may go longer, but it rose pretty quickly on the first rise, so I'm thinking the second one might be just as good. So I'll bring you back after we get our pan to go in the oven. Okay, here's my bread dough after 25 minutes, actually. I probably could let it rise a little bit longer, but I'm gonna go ahead and put it in the oven. I think this is good enough. So just say 25 minutes it took. I'm gonna go ahead and put it in the oven. I'm gonna bake it for about 30 minutes, and then I'll check the internal temperature. I want it to be at 195 to 200 degrees, and then it'll be ready. And then I'll show you the end result. Okay, I just took the bread out of the oven. I baked it for 35 minutes. And I think it's cooked. We'll let it cool in the pan for about 10 minutes. I'm gonna flip it on this rack and let it cool completely. And then we'll cut it and show you what it looks like.
See you in the video.
Okay, my bread's mostly cooled off. And here's the texture. I have a little hole right here, but that's okay. It's very soft. And let's give it a taste. Yeah, see how soft it is? I've been wanting to try to incorporate some wheat flour in my bread recipes. It needs butter, but it's very good. I will put the recipe in the description box in case you'd like to try it. And I thank you so much for watching. And don't forget to subscribe for more fabulous recipes.